What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Comic Breakdown. Before we get started, I do want to apologize for these coming out just a little bit late. I had some things I had to take care of this morning, which led to me not being able to put these out in the timely manner that I usually like. But this issue is going to be Sins of Sinister, Storm, and the Brotherhood of Mutants, issue number 2. This is part 7 of Sins of Sinister, the last issue leaving us off in the 100-year mark. After this comic, we are jumping 900 years into the future, and this issue really does feel like Star Wars: A New Hope. It feels like Luke Skywalker going off to fight against the Death Star. After 100 years, our goddess has been through so much. Storm and her Brotherhood of Mutants have been fighting against the Red Diamond for as long as they can remember. And so after 100 years of conflict, is there any hope for the future? Is there any hope to restart the timeline? Make sure you guys have subscribed to the channel, make sure that you like this video, and with that being said, let's dive into this breakdown. Alright gang, so as we dive into this issue, we are picking up in deep space. The location is unknown, but it has been 100 years since the Sinister takeover. We have this floating space station that is known as the Arakko base. The base commander is Noh-Varr. And right now, they have a ship coming in. When this ship docks, we see that the person on that ship was none other than Destiny. And Destiny has come to have a conversation as she meets the likes of Iron Fist, Korra, and Cable, now going by the name of X-Man. Destiny has come to talk to the goddess. As they have this conversation, we learn that really Destiny is in a struggle. She wants vengeance. Her Mystique had been taken away from her, while Destiny had pleaded for Mystique not to join the fight, not to join the rebellion. Mystique felt as she had no other option, that they couldn't simply hide away forever, that she couldn't be a keepsake in the Vault of Destiny. She wanted to free everybody, and so she went and she fought. All Destiny ever wanted was to live forever with her beloved, or at least as much of it as they could possibly steal. But now Destiny feels as if Mystique had died for their cause. She died on some backwater world trying to free people. This makes Destiny have to ask, was all of this worth it? That is where we see Old Lady Storm. She says that it was worth everything. And as these two really start to dig into their conversation, we learn what Destiny is truly looking for. Once Destiny had offered the chance to clean this slate, to restart everything. But at the time, she had too much to lose. Now that Raven is dead, the galaxy is on fire and they have lost everything. She says it is time to end this phase of the game. It is time to kill Moira for real. That's what takes us into deep space. We have our X-Men team getting ready to really lay down some hate. All of them in their own fighters. As we see them jump out of this portal, where they have landed is right in front of the enemy's gate. This is the home base to Orbis Stellaris. Except this giant golden ball is much bigger than it once was. Once upon a time, this ball was so tiny, it only kept the Sinister inside. But now, this thing is the size of a freaking Death Star. They refer to this as the Death Sphere, the life's work of Orbis, overlord of the Interstellar Compact, essentially a scaled-up version of his own mobile life support shell. This allows him to have his base of operations. It allows the system-sized computer known as the World Farm to travel anywhere in the galaxy, enabling total domination over all worlds under the Compact's aegis. On the inside, they are getting the readings. They know that the X-Men, the Brotherhood, have come for them, but they came in such a small armada. Orbis is a little bit confused, but still, he drops all of his weaponry. He deploys all of the standard fighters that they have. Every single one of them get dropped out into space. The odds 100 to 1. On the bridge of the Brothership, we have Korra using her gift to boost Destiny's powers. This is going to help her with accuracy and detail. If they are to take down Orbis, Destiny is their greatest weapon, having Cable, aka X-Man, being able to read her mind and then broadcasting it to everybody else. Destiny can see in the pitch of battle with her vision, Zelo's processing power with Nathan's strategic sense. Those two powers together create an unbeatable combination, a self-fulfilling prophecy, the most potent of possible futures. She can hear Storm give the order to destroy the artificial sun at the heart of the sphere. This destroys the Moira Labs at the very heart of it. A moment of euphoria and victory, and then darkness. The end of a universe. The future is set, and they will win. And so, with everybody getting the orders, we see that Ironfire gets a visitor. This visitor is none other than Mother Righteous, trying to plant seeds of doubt, trying to bring him over. But what she doesn't understand is that he already has faith. He is already a true believer, but it's not in Mother Righteous. It is not in Sinister. It is in the Goddess Storm. As this battle begins to rage on, our X-Fighters are doing everything they can to avoid destruction. They are waiting for an opportunity, and that opportunity comes very quickly, with the doorway being opened and all the standard fighters being let go. This gives them an opportunity. This gives the fighters a chance to make it inside the orb. With the systems taking too long for them to fully close the door, our X-Fighters are able to make it inside. They target the central sun. All Storm has to do is say the word, and all of this ends right now. With Storm saying, "Do it." In an instant, what we see is that Destiny has been struck down. Painless and quick, Destiny was taken down by Korra. What she saw was the end of a universe. It was just her own. It was her own death. Though they wouldn't put it past Destiny to have some kind of contingency plan in play, they have just taken down the precog. They did not take down the sun. And so obviously everybody is curious on why they are not destroying the Moiras. If Destiny was right, this reality is hell. But Storm says that a hell still supports life, and thus it supports hope. 90 years ago, she was angry, and she still very much is. But how many have lived and died since that day? One dead planet does not justify the murder of a universe. Saying that the Moira Lab is an abomination, one that they must defuse, not simply destroy, that they must guard it with their lives, for they guard the life of everything that is. But even with this, they're trying to figure out, if we're not going to destroy this and reset the universe, then how do we get out of here to defend this? How do we take the Moira Labs with us? As it stands, they are pretty much fish in a barrel waiting to be shot down. But this is where Storm does something absolutely tremendous, with Korra giving every bit of energy she has into Storm. Storm says to be an Omega level mutant is to be without limit, but there are limits beyond limits. Powers beyond powers. She is the heir to a very ancient kind of magic. Many have called her the Old Witch for a reason. This is where she calls upon her ancestors. She calls upon her bloodline. She is offering up fire, a life incarnate, that through magic and mutation she might be able to command the weather of the cosmos itself, to summon a storm that shakes realities. This is where we see a giant wormhole open up, and we see it begin to eat up everything. It takes the World Farm, it takes the Moira Labs, it takes everything. But it leaves behind Orbis and all of his command center. This is the most epic of heists ever done. Orbis's life work has been destroyed. He no longer has the Moiras. He no longer has anything that he was using before. That's what takes us to the far edges of the universe. Somewhere where no one will ever be able to find them. And if they do stumble across them just by chance, they are going to make sure that they never stumble away again. As they concentrate on the center sun, they know with a little time and effort that this place could be a fortress. This could be Fort Arauco, maybe even a new home for their scattered people. But when everybody tries to get in contact with Storm, they only find that Korra is crying. Because the great goddess, the great Omega-powered mutant, the amazing old witch that is Storm, she used every bit of her life force to open up that wormhole and get them all to safety. The great Ororo has died. And that will be the end of this issue. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. So like I said, it definitely plays like Star Wars A New Hope with a nice little twist in there. It is very sad to see that Storm, after 100 years, has finally met her fate. But her death was glorious, showing the true extent of what she is capable of. Pushed to the very limits, she can do anything. Even open up a freaking wormhole so that everybody can get to safety, sending them all the way across the universe so that they can never be bothered, so that the Moira clones will always be safe. But this is more than that. It is an opportunity to rebuild, to start over. It is crazy to think that at the end of the day, Storm decided it was best to not restart the timeline. She believed that after 100 years, this has already happened. We have all lived our lives, people are being born, people are dying, so on and so forth. She thinks that it is selfish to restart the entire universe simply because their planet and their people have suffered for it. Now, you could argue that the entire universe is about to suffer because of her actions on this day. But she saw the Moiras as an abomination, not something that needed to be destroyed, but something that needed to be protected all the way until the very end of time. And obviously, they are going to do a good job of keeping this protected because we are about to jump 900 years into the future. We don't know what to expect. We don't know what's going to happen. We don't know who is going to be siding with who. But man, am I ready to see what is in store, what has happened over the span of 900 years. But let me know your thoughts, let me know your theories. If you would like to get completely caught up on everything going on with this series, do me a favor, check out the link in my description, as well as the top of this video. It will get you completely caught up on everything going on with Sins of Sinister. If you would like to support the channel, you can always do so by joining the channel membership. Much like Patreon, having multiple different tiers, from $1 to $50, from loyalty badges to getting comics every single month. Not only does this help out the channel tremendously, but you are getting tons of perks in the process. If you are unable to do that, do me a favor, subscribe to the channel, like this video, hit that notification bell, and with that being said, until the next breakdown.